I never thought I'd be the kind of woman to do this. I've been married to Daniel for 6 years, and we were together 3 years before that. He's been my rock, my best friend, and the man who knew me better than anyone else. But maybe that's where it all started to go wrong. Knowing each other so well, everything became predictable, almost mechanical. Our routines were set. We woke up at the same time, we ate dinner at the same time, and even our conversations followed the same patterns. It was during one of those late-night work events that I met him. James. He was new to the company, a consultant brought in to fix our marketing strategies. He had this air of confidence around him, with a smile that could light up a room. We started chatting about work, of course, but then he complimented my dress. Said it brought out the color of my eyes. Daniel used to say things like that, but it'd been years since he noticed the little things. A few more work events went by, and each time, James and I would find ourselves talking in the corner, laughing at inside jokes that no one else understood. One evening, after a particularly stressful meeting, he suggested we grab a drink at the bar downstairs. I hesitated for a moment, but it seemed innocent enough. We were colleagues, after all. At the bar, one drink turned into two, and two turned into several more. I remember feeling the warmth of the alcohol spreading through me, making me feel alive, free, and a little reckless. James was looking at me, really looking at me, in a way that made me feel desired, like the center of his universe at that moment. "You deserve more," he said, his voice low and sincere. "Someone who sees you for who you are, who wants to make you happy." I should have stopped him there. I should have said something about Daniel, about our life together. But instead, I found myself leaning closer, letting his words wash over me. When his hand brushed against mine, I felt a jolt, like electricity running through my veins. It had been so long since I'd felt this kind of excitement. The next thing I knew, we were in his hotel room. His hands were on my waist, pulling me close, his lips pressing against mine with a hunger I hadn't felt in years. The way he touched me, it was like he was reading my mind, knowing exactly where to kiss, where to caress. Every touch, every kiss felt like fire igniting on my skin. I knew it was wrong, but in that moment, nothing else mattered. Not Daniel, not my marriage, not the life we'd built together. It was just me and James, and the raw passion that was consuming us both. Afterward, we lay there in silence, his arm draped over my waist, his breathing steady against my neck. Reality started to sink in. I had betrayed Daniel. The thought hit me like a punch to the gut. I slid out of bed, careful not to wake James, and stared at myself in the bathroom mirror. I looked the same, but I felt like a stranger in my own skin. The guilt was overwhelming, like a weight pressing down on my chest. I splashed water on my face, trying to wash away the shame, the regret, but it was no use. The image of Daniel's trusting eyes flashed in my mind, and I felt a surge of nausea. I left the hotel room without a word, grabbing my clothes and rushing out. As I walked back to my car, the city lights blurred by the tears streaming down my face. How could I have done this? How could I betray the man who had loved me through everything? The days that followed were a nightmare. I went through the motions at home, trying to act normal, but every time Daniel smiled at me or reached for my hand, I felt like I was dying inside. He didn't know, but I did. The guilt was eating me alive, making it hard to breathe, to sleep. I started avoiding his touch, his gaze, because every time he looked at me, I felt like he could see right through me, like he knew what I'd done. One night, as we were lying in bed, Daniel turned to me and said, "I love you. You know that?" I felt tears prick at my eyes, and I forced a smile, nodding. "I know," I whispered, my voice barely holding steady. But as I lay there in the dark, listening to his breathing next to me, the weight of my actions pressed down on me. I didn't deserve his love. I didn't deserve him. It's been weeks now, and I still can't look at myself in the mirror. I want to tell him, to confess, but I know it would destroy him. Destroy us. I've made the biggest mistake of my life, and now I have to live with it. The guilt gnawing at me every single day. They say time heals all wounds, but I don't think I'll ever forgive myself for this. I've lost a part of myself, and I'm not sure if I'll ever find it again. Daniel deserves more. He deserves someone who loves him fully, without secrets, without shame. But I'm too much of a coward to let him go, to face the truth. So I keep pretending, keep wearing this mask, even though it's killing me inside. Every day, I pray for the strength to make it right, but I don't know if that day will ever come. For now, I'm trapped in this nightmare of my own making, hoping against hope that somehow I can find a way to be whole again.